I'm Susan DeLoso. I'm the president of River Islands Development.
And Bob Campana, the Chief Operating Officer and slave to Redwood Café.
So we are here. This is a 100-acre site. We call this the town center. It's right on the San Joaquin River, and it's really in the center of the city of Lathrop. So it's on the far eastern edge of River Islands, and we did that intentionally so it could service not just the River Islands residents, but also the entirety of the city. We've already built in this 100-acre area the ball field, Islanders Field, which you may have seen before or seen a ball game there. Police headquarters. So our Lathrop Police Department moved in there in July about 2 years ago. And right below the police headquarters is one of our community parks that will be open to the residents. And that has splash pads and areas to rent and open fields. So it will be a really nice community park. What we're standing right here is going to be the Redwood Café. So right now we are in the excavated area. This is going to be about 12 feet below the floor level of the first floor. So it's an entire cellar basement, the entire size of the restaurant. So where you had one cellar room, now we'll have four. We'll have four, and the entirety of the basement could be converted at some point to space.
And those cellars will be themed cellars. So we're going to have one that's a replication of the Redwood Café in Modesto. We're going to have something that replicates Napa and Allen's heritage with Summerston and Priest Ranch. We'll have a beautiful cellar here as well, and some other themes that we're going to kind of hunt for to make them interesting for the residents here.
So in the town center, which the Redwood's going to be a major part of, we also have grocery stores and apartments. We have 668 apartments planned in this area to create a lot of the walking downtown activity. We have retail in addition to the grocery store. We have a medical office building that we're in negotiations on. It's kind of an exciting time because this is all just beginning to take off. We have about 4,100 homes occupied, so about, say, 12,000 residents that live in River Islands, and it's now time to start providing the services that we envision for the comprehensive community.
It's kind of that critical mass now where Redwood Café is going to play an important role to pull that community together and a congregation place.
Well, and you know, Bob, I'm in love with Redwood Café. I mean, when it was in Modesto, I could still in Modesto. It hasn't quite moved, out of the city yet, but soon, in the next couple of days. But that's where we would go for my birthday or special events with families and friends. And anyways, it's always been a great gathering place for everyone I know. And that was well before I knew you. So when we met and kind of made this deal to bring the original restaurant over, it was like the perfect marriage because I'm trying to build a community. You have a community and you want to keep it intact. So we were able to keep your community intact and bring it into ours so we can match them.
You know, that really is something that gives me great honor that you enjoyed Redwood Café to that degree. And I look forward to it as a challenge, but also as a wonderful journey of creating that same restaurant atmosphere and sense of community here at River Island. And I think the timing, as everything's kind of coming together, it's the right time for this to transpire for the community. And I'm so excited that you've given me a part of it. I mean, I really am jazzed.
We are so excited. So as we mentioned, this is the excavation for the cellar room. Very soon you'll start seeing concrete blocks because the whole entire wall, the whole perimeter of the cellar will be concrete blocks. And then we'll overlay it with a ceiling, which will become the floor for the original dining room and the original bar to get set down on.
For you folks that are watching this for the first time or not really understanding what's transpiring here, the Redwood Café was basically purchased from the Mormon Church through a transaction, which basically we needed to find a new home for it, the land only. Susan and I came together and we came up with this idea to physically move the restaurant, build a new building, and insert sections of the old building into the new building. It's an extremely unique and a very interesting story to be had for this construction project. Susan reached out to Dahlin Group, which is probably a world-renowned architectural firm.
Very much so.
Doug Dahlin, the patriarch, the founder of the firm, is semi-retired. He loved the uniqueness of this project so much that he is personally involved in making this come to pass. So having a world-class architect, Susan and Alan and River Islands basically making a very large commitment to make a beautiful building and structure for the community here. And my role is basically to turn around and hopefully create a situation that gives everyone a place to celebrate life, come and break bread with friends and family and truly enjoy the sense of community that River Island has to offer.
Well, and not only that, we talk about the building a lot, but you had great grounds. So you had a great landscape
component that I am so excited to work on. My little walnut brain has already got ideas of the art and landscaping that will, after you have your meal at Redwood, you'll be able to walk and take a path or walk around and enjoy nature and a place that's truly going to be special. We're also going to have these open areas for weddings, gatherings, community activities, company events. All of those type of things are going to be a part of what Redwood Café at River Islands is going to be working on. We also have some videos that we're going to be making through the process that's going to show you step by step how we build the menu for the restaurant and how we basically put together the building of the restaurant, the art that goes into the restaurant, the collaboration of all the different contractors and everybody that's involved to basically make something that truly is going to be unique. We're going to have our shop that we worked on the old water office on. You're going to have Jake and the guys manufacturing metal components and different types of pieces that are going to be put into this beautiful puzzle. And Susan and River Islands being 100% on board with this, and actually our partners in the project, it's just such an honor. So we're partners in this. It's not just like landlord-tenant kind of thing.
And it's not just documenting the menu and how the furniture looks, but it's also the construction of the building, which is really going to be different because, again, we're picking up an existing building, blending it into a new building, recreating the grounds where you can have weddings and things. And another thing I'd like to point out about this location, though, is that we're right on the Levee Trail, and we have an 18-mile trail that goes around the entirety of the project. And you've seen our pedestrian bridges that go across the major roads. So you can be, there's one right by the baseball stadium.
Yeah.
You can be on the trail, go up and over the major road without crossing it, on the street. You can go up and over it. So you can basically walk 18 miles from anywhere in the community or ride your bike or ride a golf cart and get
Golf carts are legal.
Yeah, golf carts are legal on the Levee Trail. You can ride a horse. You can ride a horse.
Can I with the viewers, can I share the story of how this lot came about in the island and your story?
Yeah, absolutely.
So there's a little bit of backstory of what's going on here. So Susan and myself utilized the vehicle of video to show the Redwood Café to Alan Chapman, who is the owner and the benefactor of this entire project. Susan's boss and
for 38 years.
For 38 years.
8 years.
So Alan doesn't live in California, he lives elsewhere. And we make this video and we send it to him about the restaurant and about our idea of picking up the building, moving it and all of that. And what did it take, 48 hours?
Not even, I talked to him the next day. I talked to him within, we left each other around 5 o'clock on a Friday after 4th of July. So this is the 5th of July. And by 9 o'clock in the morning, he and I were on the phone and the deal was done.
He agreed that this was a good idea.
Absolutely.
So unbeknownst to me, I've only met Mr. Chapman one time, and he's kind of like a mysterious figure. Hey, he's great. Shows up. Susan called me, hey, Bob, Alan wants to meet you tomorrow at 8 o'clock. So I meet Mr. Chapman. We have a couple of hour conversation, get to know each other. And this lot was Alan's lot that he had chosen when he was developing the entire subdivision to replicate and make a winery on. He has 2 wineries in Napa. One's called Summerston, another one's Priest Ranch. Very renowned wineries, very good product there. And he was going to make a connection between Napa and River Islands with this lot. After he had the meeting with me, got back in the car with Susan, and instructed Susan that we should put the River Island Redwood Café on his lot, and he thought it would be a better use of the land. That was such an honor.
Sell our wine here.
Yes.
Sell Somerset.
Oh yeah, no, we're going to sell the wines here. That's obviously a given, but that was an honor. Were you surprised when he decided to do that?
I'm not, because I know Alan knows the right things to do, and that was the right decision to make. Because what you can't tell from the visual that we're doing right now, but this restaurant parcel is actually above the whole entire town center. So we're sitting up on the levee looking down into the future town center. So we will be on the balcony, we'll be looking over the street. When the street gets built, we'll be looking over the baseball field. We're basically 12 feet higher than anything else around us. So it's perched up accessible by the levee trail, high on the levee. You can't quite see the river. The river is a little bit in the distance, but it's a perfect location to view what's going on in River Island. So we're going to do that together on the balcony, hopefully someday soon.
Yes. And the construction of this project, again, we want to highlight the uniqueness of it and the difference of it and the team of people that Susan's put together to basically make this come true is truly phenomenal. We have some video of us sitting around the planning table. There's 12 or 14 professional individuals, engineers, architects, general contractors, plumbers, heating and air conditioning professionals, and they're all pitching in, number one, to do a great job, but they're interested in this as a unique project as well. It is a challenge to them.
And I need to do a shout out to Hale Construction.
Yes.
Because Hale Construction has been our partner on River Islands for quite a number of buildings, and they are as excited to build this building as they were for the police station, for example.
Yes.
So they're great partners, great family, and I think we all work together really well.
Fantastic.
And Jonathan, they're fantastic. So the whole family's great, so we're happy to have them as our general contractors on this.
So again, through Susan and Alan's hard work to get 4,700 homes, 12,000 residents here, the little pachinko ball continues to go down. And it's gotten to a point now where the community needs a grocery store, they need a town center, and they need a third place. And correct me if I'm wrong, you could have had any restaurant.
We didn't want any restaurant.
But you could have.
We could have.
Did you have restaurants soliciting you?
No, because we didn't solicit them.
Okay.
So, this would have been an automatic BJ's location. I shouldn't say names, but I am. It's a BJ type restaurant.
Right.
It's that kind of atmosphere that our residents would want, but it just felt that we needed a private proprietor and one with history. And what we haven't talked much about is all your staff, because your staff who we love are coming out here.
Yes.
So we're gonna, that's really great that the people that we knew from Modesto are the same people who are gonna work out here.
And she's played a role in that. We've got our small little restaurant down in Patterson, and we're maintaining that staff, and Susan is helping us make sure that the training and everything is done so properly that when Redwood Café opens in River Island, it's going to be a seamless transition. Not going to be any, that was our first week. There's going to be none of that. We're going to hit the ground running, and it's going to just be an amazing, well-oiled machine. And we're working on that every day right now as we speak. Even prior to the ground even being broken, we have our staff working in Patterson on those projects. So
we just got done excavating this basement area. Next thing we're doing is doing a foundation. So it's the entire concrete block wall system for the basement that will have a ceiling for the basement that acts as the floor when we move the buildings over.
Right.
So the buildings are already off the site that the Mormons own. They're in an unknown location in Modesto, but they're going to be moving into Lathrop in the next week or so. So we're moving them through, finally got a Caltrans permit. We're moving them pretty much onto the farm.
Yeah.
Onto the farm because we have a nice security system. From that point, we will put the buildings on their permanent locations, and then we'll build a kitchen and bathrooms and a new entry all the way around those buildings. And we're hoping that by end of this year, we'll be able to turn it over to you to do all your interiors.
I'm going to be working on those interiors. Let me know to you prior to you turn it over to me. Yeah. But, because it's such a big project and it's so long. Like, as an example, one of the things, I'll just do it on film here we've got 5 private rooms. I want to make 5 individual remarkable tables for each one of those rooms.
That'd be great.
So that'll be something that we can get the measurements of the room, and we'll start working on those tables now. I've got a lot of ideas on what those will work out. So each one of the wine cellars, the private rooms, will have a very unique, beautiful signature Redwood Café, Bob Campana, Susan DeLoso table in it that basically gives you the feeling that you're really somewhere special.
And then if everything goes well, hopefully spring of next year, spring of 2026, we'll have a major grand opening.
And the entire community will come. We're going to be videoing this on a weekly basis and sharing that with everyone. And the community will come and they'll all be a part of it. And that launch will basically just be another chapter in the building of River Islands and how this planned community is just head and shoulders above almost all of them in the United States.
Well, thank you. Now that you're part of it.
So it's so true. There you have it.
There you have it. That's our story.